Okay, I guess I am live. I can't, don't see the, okay. Okay. Anyway, hmm, so I think what I figured out is that to get the art style I want, I need to remove the background from the character reference, and um, then I seem to get the art style I want more easily. So hopefully I won't hit the rate limit on Grok too quickly here. Before I do that, let's just crop this a bit. This reference of music satire. I don't want Nano Banana to get confused. Well, maybe I should try this, see how it goes. Okay. See, what background should she have? About like like an overgrown garden. Hmm, that's pretty good. Okay.
Hey there, little guy.
Oh, I saved this. But if I didn't, I'll just save it again. Okay. Hello. Hi, I'm doing fine. I need to make some cameos. So that's what I'm doing right now. I have a whole list of people who have given me cameos, and so now I'm creating art of them. I did find for the art style I really wanted, I tried doing a text only, and this is what it gave me for Keybox, which is not what I wanted. Yeah, I had to figure out how to get the chat to dock in OBS so it would show up when I just glanced down. So, okay. So I found to really get the art style that I truly fully wanted, I had to go to Grok Imagine and ask it to remove the outlines. So once I get like an image that I'm satisfied, that's what I'm going to do for the finishing touch. So like, where is it? This one. I liked this one. So I took this over to Grok and I asked it to remove the outlines. And that gave me this, which looks a lot um fuzzier, but also more like blended together. And that's the art style I'm going for. So, as often happens, Nano Banano 2 gets me there like 90% of the way, and then Grok will do the rest of it. As long as my rate limit for Grok does not hit again. I hit the Grok limit when trying to make Tiny Headed Hassan. Thank you. Yeah, I love the watercolor look too. It's really fun. Forgot to change the background for music satire, but it's all right. And I'm doing lots of file management, just like keeping everything in folders on my own computer. Oh, hello, Noel. I'm not going to be looking at the chat the entire time because I only have two monitors, and one of them I'm using to access the Skydesk. I don't want to show that on YouTube, and also run OBS. So I'll be switching between programs on that monitor. Yeah, fortunately, OpenArt doesn't have a rate limit. At least I haven't really run into it, but it costs more. It costs money. So, all right, Kini. I already have a Kini. I have him saved in here. So this obviously he needs like a snowy glacier landscape, right? So the tier of open art I'm paying for, I paid for the annual plan, which works out. It's the second highest. Uh, Two tails again. Thanks, Nano. So the second highest worked out to be about $28 a month with the annual plan. Yeah, I like that. And for $28 a month, I get 24,000 credits. And as you can see, Nano Banana 2 costs 20 credits for each generation. So I can make thousands of images. But of course, it's the video that really runs through a lot. Okay, Vespers next. I saved her. She has to get like a somewhere warm, like a tropical jungle. I've looked in a little bit into local generation. Definitely something to try. Like I was looking at a program for doing local lip sync, but I just ran out of brain power on trying to figure out how to set it up because it has you have to do like a bat file or something. That's cute. All right. Penny. I love Penny. She is such an amazing woman. Of course, if I say, how I feel about everyone in this video, it's going to get a lot of lovey-doveyness very quickly. Okay, this one, I think I'm going to have Grok remove the background on because it's a little locked in for style. It kind of looks like an oil painting. Nice, very clean. I just might. I just might get super lovey-dovey. But Penny's video where she responded to my little criticism rant was super sweet. She started out with an analogy of like dandelion greens and violets and how dandelion greens are kind of bitter and violets are sweet, but you need both to have a nice salad. And it was such a good metaphor. I can tell. Oh, I gave her a jungle. Whoops. Let's do more of like an English garden. Anyway, I can tell just from the videos that she makes that Penny is an author. She has our minds think similarly because I've written a lot of fiction in my life, so I do often think in analogies and metaphors. Still looks a little oil painty. Let's see. Let's see if having a different base will make it look better. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. It definitely was kind of a spur of the moment thing because I was feeling upset. So I was not happy with the things I heard that were said. With some distance, I understand Penny's points where, it probably wasn't that bad, but I also didn't see the stream myself, so let's see, how's that? Is that any different? It's a little different. I definitely felt like my second video on criticism was a lot more measured and well thought out, but also there is something to say for just like being in the moment and expressing your feelings. Like that's an important thing to do also as a creative, so I don't regret it at all. Okay. Yeah, that was the big thing, was the talking down. And it definitely, I did listen to almost all of Keen's stream where he and Gravy were talking. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, but play with that more later. Yeah, I much prefer to tell people what I liked than what I didn't like. Although I definitely agree that you also do need someone to tell you like what could use improvement. Like definitely we need all of that. But it is, I think, the big sister in me that I want to be more like telling somebody, "Oh, that was great. You should keep going. It's so cool." You know? And I really worry about people who are brand new to this being crushed by negative comments. Oh, I keep forgetting to change the landscape. I don't know, Smokey, what kind of landscape would you want to be behind you? Yeah, no, that's something I really worry about because, I've been a writer since I was very young, been in a lot of like creative classes. I was homeschooled, but we had like a co-op when I was a kid where we'd have like one of the parents who would teach the kids for like different classes. We had a creative writing class for some of us homeschool kids who wanted to do creative writing, and like looking back on it now, that was one of my first experiences with like sharing fiction in a group setting, and it was really good. And of course, none of us were writing anything groundbreaking, but everyone was very kind, very encouraging, and it was a really important part of my development as a writer. And for people who come to creativity as an adult, they're not going to have um those experiences. Like AI is great because the barrier is so low, but also a lot of people who are going to jump on this tool aren't going to have that foundation of like trying to be creative through their whole life and having these ups and downs. And so it can be discouraging if you don't have that foundation. I've done lots of crafts in my life. I like to crochet. I like to do. I learned how to sew. I like to do lots of things. Um, and anytime you start a new skill, there's always going to be a learning curve where you have this vision in your head of this thing you want to make, and you just can't get there at first. But if you have the experience, that's nice. I don't mind that at all. Ooh, yeah, that blends better. I'm gonna save that one. So if you have an experience of like picking up creative skills or hobbies in the past, and knowing that you're gonna hit that wall at first, where it's difficult and you have pictures in your head that you can't bring into reality. If you know that that's how it works, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to push through that wall in a new hobby. Yeah, I dig that. I like that a lot. That's really cool looking. All right. And Mags. I don't know if she's in the sky or he's in the sky Dex. If not, I'll just go get a YouTube screenshot. Obviously, that list is in no particular order. It's people who have given me cameos or talked to me on YouTube or whom I've had discussions with or did video responses. There's people who did art for me on Twitter. Yep, there's Mags. And then I have a shorter list of people who inspired me in particular, and then also a few people who have said to me that they've been inspired by my own things, my own talks, or just like comments, just reaching out to them. And then, of course, we have our community protectors and supporters. And I'm going to be adding to this list. This is not all inclusive. I'm sure I will think of more. I haven't gotten my music yet, though. That's something I don't want to really do on stream because writing takes a long time unless you get suddenly inspired. So I think it would be pretty boring for me just sitting here with a blank page, um, thinking of concepts and then writing them out and then rewriting them until I find something. I really want like a catchy hook for the song for this project because I want it to have like an Owl City vibe, and the Owl City hooks are just really nice, really stick in your head. Yeah, gunpla, that's a good example of a hobby where you can screw up. I've never done model kits myself, but I've watched YouTube videos of people. I love watching YouTube videos of hobbies, of people just doing what they love and choosing to share it. Like, it's so cool. Even if I have zero interest in doing that particular thing myself, seeing someone talk about something they love and like the passion in their voice and seeing their creations, it's always really neat. Gleeman. Gleeman's model is so freaking cute. It's incredible. And so unique. Well, here's the classic pose reference. Oh, I'm excited. Birdman. Okay. Yeah, I think that background's fine. Ooh, that's exciting. All right, Gleeman cannot be in a dark woods. It worked for Mags for sure. Gleeman, hmm, maybe a sunny beach. Gosh, that's so cute. Oh my, too cute. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I can choose between these two. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Keen. I do have Keen saved. I think I have both his regular pirate and his cyber pirate. Oh, I thought I did. Maybe I don't. Well, he's on my computer if he's not in my um OpenArt. Okay. Where did I put him? Oh my gosh, now I gotta go search for it. I think I did some bad management with Keen. Well, I'll go get another one. I know. Look at that little guy. Okay. I do feel very strongly about file management. That was my job before my current job. I helped my dad at an office in a furniture factory, maintaining the databases, keeping them clean. Okay. But should I use Classic Keen or Cyber Keen? Or maybe the kind of quirked up Skybrows version of Keen from the Pippa video. Oh, that's right. Could do Queen also. Although he said he thinks of them as separate characters. Let's see how Grok does with this one. Don't get stuck. Come on, Grok. I can't have hit the rate limit. It's only been like 30 images. Okay. Okay. Although it has cut it down from 2 options to 1 lately, which is honestly fine. Can always redo it if the first one doesn't work, but it was probably wasting a lot of processing power doing the two. Sometimes they were barely different at all. All right. So, yeah, this needs to be a seascape. But anyway, back to the story about my previous job. So, this was a furniture factory, and there was a lot of importance in keeping the bills of materials correct, and so that we could do inventory, so that we knew what we had on hand, so we could order things when they started to run out. It was a very important thing that I was doing. And then when after my dad left to do ministry, they laid me off because the office manager just didn't like my family for whatever reason. He kind of chased all of us out of there. At one time, like 5 of the 10 people in my family worked in that office, or at least in the furniture factory. And then we all quit one after the other because the office manager was so hostile. Um, and then years later, after my dad finished his time in ministry, he went back, and the database had broken like a couple of months after I left, and they never fixed it, so their inventory was never correct. And one of the reasons my dad was hired was to come back and fix that for them. So I felt very vindicated when he told me that. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't have gotten rid of me. I was doing a good and important job. And the guy who told me I was being laid off wasn't the office manager, it was like the factory manager, and I could tell he felt bad about it. Um And I asked him, well, who's going to keep the bills of material and the inventory clean if I'm not here? And he's like, I'll do it. And yeah, I knew he wouldn't, and he didn't. All right, depth walker. I really appreciate his dedication in giving everyone some feedback on the videos. I did see his review of Nuxacore, although I never commented, and I did appreciate it. And I agreed with all of his criticisms. Everything he said was completely correct. All right. So he's got like a jungle backstory too, kind of, if I'm remembering correctly. But okay, what if we do like an ancient ruin type of thing? Or maybe I'm conflating his backstory with that old TV show Sentinel. For some reason it gets a little mixed up in my mind. Okay. That looks pretty cool. That looks like a good like place for a D&D adventure. Oh, for sure. I agree. It's a lot of work to watch everyone's videos. Like I tried for a while and I couldn't keep up. And all I was doing was commenting. I wasn't doing like a full on like reaction and critique. Yep. Pufferfish Pat. Oh, is he in the decks? He should be. Yes, he is. Oh, he's got a whole family in here. Oh my goodness. It's the gosh, it's the cutest. I understand why so many people put him in their videos. It is such a cute and unique um little image. Like this puppy pufferfish with this beautiful like yellow orange color. It's just so adorable. And anytime you want to do like an aquatic scene, you can just have him hanging out. That's awesome. Yeah, asking Grok to make watercolor, it does fine. Like it definitely changes things a little bit, but it's really Nano that does really good with the styles. I spent my last stream developing this art style um paragraph, and it's been working quite well. I'm really pleased with it. It's a little different than my usual watercolor styles that I use for my like hymn videos and stuff. It's meant to be more smeary and less outlines. More like bleeding together. The backgrounds actually look very close to what I'm envisioning in my head. But with the character references, it's not as smeary as I want it to be. It's pretty close. And then Grok will take it the rest of the way. Yes, that is so cute. Let's do underwater ruin. Yeah, you can see with my reference, like it didn't get the smeariness very well at all. I would need to edit my reference to get it more the way I want it. But this one of Northy is basically perfect. Like this is exactly what I want. Hello, random guy. I am making art for a cameo video. So I worked out an art style in my last stream, and now I'm using it to make individual portraits. And then once I have all the portraits I want, I'll put them into pairs and make videos. The idea is to be like a chain of like people reaching out to each other and sharing color as it spreads from person to person. Like the idea of watercolor bleeding on a page. That is the concept. Whether that will come across in the final video is anyone's guess. But that's what I'm going for. Well, I got Keybox, so enter 2 credits is next. Civitai, never, or Civit AI. Interesting. I'll have to look into that. It's funny, Credits and I talk about anime like every other week, but I've never actually made any art with him. Partially because his his logo is 2 coins. But yeah, he does have something here in the decks. I guess we'll see how this works. Yeah, I bought this laptop in February, right before I started making AI. And one of the reasons I bought it was because I wanted to do this stuff. So it has a pretty good, has pretty good specs. but I have not tried to run any local AI yet. Probably will in the future, especially with, you know, just how expensive everything is, or just quits working like Grok. Okay. It's kind of charcoaly. Hmm. That's an idea for an art style to do something charcoal based. Just really cool charcoal art out there. Hmm. Looks. It's not really key. Okay, that's keeping the face in shadow. I think is important. Torst. Do I have him saved? No, I just did a. I think I just uploaded him. There he is, but he has a new model. I should use his new model. Hmm. Let's see. So serious. That's all right. Good luck. See you later. All right, Reading Mango. He has been very active in the Twitter community, making lots of art and including lots of people. He's not in the Skydex, unless my eyes deceive me. Okay. I'll just go find something he made of himself on X. I'm not taking the first one. Visually pleasing anime. That's a good question. Well, my favorite anime is Mob Psycho 100, but I wouldn't say it's the most like the art style definitely fits what it's conveying for sure. But it's not like super polished art. It's not meant to be. It's more like someone sketches in a notebook because it is. That's what the author was doing, was basically scribbling. He did learn a lot about art over the course of making it, but you can tell when he started that he was not an artist at all. And they carried that personality over to the anime, which was really fun. But for anime that I think are actually beautiful, gosh, I'd have to think about that. There's a lot of studios that have really good styles that really come across. Bones, who does Mob Psycho 100 and like all the Hero Academia, they have really good animation styles. Trigger is really good. So it's kind of I guess it depends on if you're thinking of like pure beauty of the art style or if it's more like the animation that really draws you in. Like the style, the way people move and snap across the screen, that sort of thing. So for like just really really good like animation that's very like dynamic, Gurren Lagann and Kill the Kill are two that come to mind. Or the way that the way characters move on the screen just like grabs your attention and keeps it. But if you're looking for pure like beauty in the art style, I think there's a lot of more, maybe like Full Metal Alchemist is very polished in the art style. Gosh, what else am I thinking of? Can't really think of any like watercolor anime off the top of my head. I think Jujutsu Kaisen has a really interesting art style. I don't know if you call it beautiful. It has the animation in some parts is absolutely stunning, but it does have a very kind of mm, cut paper dolls kind of look to it. You get used to it. There's a lot of anime that just kind of blend together because they kind of all have a very similar style, very similar way of doing things. Okay, Reading Mango, I'm having trouble finding a reference for him. I mean, if I just Google him, what'll come up? Well, there's his Twitter PFP. Okay, here's one where he looks a little beat up, but I think I can use this. It's something he posted himself, so hopefully he won't mind me using it as a base. So let's see. I ask Rock to help me prompt all the time, but if there's something I want to get, but I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, I'll ask Rock, help me prompt for this, and then I'll take ideas from that. I don't usually copy paste exactly what Grok gives me, but I'll, you know, take bits and pieces and keep trying and keep iterating until I get to something that I want. And when I'm like trying to find an art style, I'll find something that's close to what I want and I'll ask Grok, how do I prompt for this style of art? They'll give me a bunch of words and then I'll try the ones that make sense until I'll get something like this paragraph. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. For the landscape for Vivi Mango, he really likes Soul Eater. Could do something like that. Or just give him like hmm, let's just give him a city park. Which industry are you thinking of? Like the AI industry? Cause that's yeah, yeah. Maringetsu for sure. Um the AI surprises me a lot. Like I'll Grok, especially when you just give it a an image and you say make video, sometimes what you get is a lot more interesting than what you would have gotten if you'd written a description. Like it'll just come up with things. Grok, I think, is one of the best models for expressiveness. Um, but that means it doesn't stick as closely to prompts. So you can tell it to do something. It doesn't match what's in your head, but a lot of times what it gives you is even better than what's in your head. So it's a kind of a trade-off depending on what model you use. Some are better for different things. So like now I'm using Nano Banana 2 to make these portraits because I know I can predict what the style will look like with this paragraph I've written or put together. And so I know I can make a cohesive video because all of these portraits will look close to similar. Like there's definitely, if you put all of them side by side, someone looking through would be like, well, these are like artists that studied the same school. They're not necessarily the same artist, right? Because of course also the reference influences it. But Grok is incredibly expressive. Like, let me see if I can find. When I was making my Nuxacore video, and I took a few things over there to have it just like to edit some images I was getting from Nano, and then I wanted to, then I hit make video just to see what happened.
Hey Trump, look at this guy.
Like
wow,
this
what
one.
a loser. So frozen. He's stuck. Best freezer ever. Tremendous. We should keep him there. Deal. He's not going anywhere. Hey Trump, look at this guy.
Yeah,
wow.
So I did not prompt this. Well, kind of. What did I say here? I said the two characters talk and laugh, point at the man in carbonite on the back wall. And Grok gave me this, which is like exactly what these two characters would say to each other. If they were, it did not keep Nux's eyes. It gave him human eyeballs.
Hey Trump, look at this guy.
Instantly.
Wow, what a loser. So frozen. He's stuck. Best freezer ever. Tremendous. We should keep him there. Deal. He's not going anywhere. Hey Trump, look at this guy. Wow,
Anyway.
what a loser.
Oh, I can't turn off. Anyway, Grok hates non-human eyes. It seems to always give it human eyeballs. But I ended up using this in the final video because it was so funny and expressive. Yeah, I agree. A weirdness scale would be very interesting. But yeah, with Grok, you kind of get what you get. You can set it up. You can give it reference images. You can give it a good start image. And you can give it a good prompt. But sometimes it just like does whatever it wants to do. And sometimes that's great. And sometimes it's super frustrating. So, hi, Penny. I am making character portraits for my cameo video that I'm working on. So I just did Reading Mango. The reference I found for him looked kind of beat up, so he looks kind of beat up in this one, but I know he's been going through a rough time, so it's not inaccurate, I don't think. All right, and then Ava Glitch AI is the next one. She is not in the Skydeck, so I will go to Twitter. It's so funny that it's been years and I still call it Twitter instead of X. I agree. X is a terrible name. I don't know what Elon was thinking of. He's usually so good at branding. And yes, Maringetsu, it absolutely working with AI is much more like being a director than being the artist. It's like you have a whole factory full of artists and you're telling this factory to do these things that you want to do, and sometimes the factory comes together and everything goes perfectly and you get something that's really really awesome and amazing, and sometimes the different parts of the factory just can't talk to each other and they get all mixed up and they send the wrong pieces to the wrong part of the building and you get something absolutely weird. Yeah, I keep waiting for them to change X's name to something else because it's so bad. Drunk rebellious artist, yes. Yeah, I think attitudes will change toward AI slowly as more people create amazing things with it. But there's still going to be slop. There's always going to be. It's so easy to make slop in any medium. And since it's so easy to use AI at all, there's going to be tons and tons and tons of AI slop, and there always will be. Like, that's not something that's going to go away. So let's see. For Ava, let's do like a vampire castle, or at least Eastern European castle. You're right. There's tons of YouTube slop. There's tons of like videos, like movies that took someone produced and got a budget and got investors. There's lots of movie slop, and that takes a lot more time and money than, anything you can do with AI. That's cute. I think I like this one more. And people find joy in like watching bad movies. So I think in the future, some people will find joy in consuming bad AI or slop AI too. They already do. Some people already are enjoying making fun of like that whole Fruit Island thing. So it's not like bad art is a new concept. People are just super hostile to AI because it's, well, for a lot of reasons, because they're afraid of it mostly, I think is the biggest reason. Right, Penny, there's always been a lot of that stuff. All right, who's next? All right, Cheney Man. Yeah, whenever I use the word bad for art, imagine that my fingers are in big quote marks around it, because as I've said many more than once in the past, like what you think is terrible, someone else could think is awesome, and vice versa. Like it's such a personal thing. Art is so subjective. And even the worst like movie or something, someone can it can be their comfort movie, It can be what they find joy in. Like you just never know. Or like a terrible slop novel that, they sell at the airport and you read on the beach. For most people it's like throw away, but for someone who, just needs something, they could find something very valuable in that pulp fiction. All right, so I'm looking at Cheney Man's X. Okay, and he pinned a reference. How kind of him. Right at the top of his X. That's so nice. Okay, what's kind of landscape for this guy? He's been he's been doing stylish posters, been doing cars. He seems to like cars. So we can do, let's try stylish urban. Hackers, I've never seen that. I grew up with what you could call Christian slop. As I mentioned, I was homeschooled, and my family, like, we had a TV, but it was mostly for videos. Like, we didn't really watch television per se, except once in a while. Like, I watched Star Trek as a kid. I remember watching Star Trek. But we'd get a lot of VHSs from this, like, this family video company where you'd get a catalog in the mail and you could order movies on VHS. Um, and there's one that we got from that catalog called Picture Perfect. Perfect. It was a made-for-TV movie with the guy who plays Al on Home Improvement as like the main celebrity in it, and it is so funny. Like my family loves that movie. My siblings and I still talk about it. It's like, oh, we got to find Picture Perfect and watch it again. I wonder if it holds up. It probably doesn't, but we just loved that movie so much when I was a kid. I think I saw the first Sharknado. I did enjoy it. Like it was just so silly. Like yeah, there were a bunch of really silly sci-fi movies. The channel SYFY. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, that one got his tattoo. But I like the colors of this one more. Okay. I need to go use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yes, the movies that sci-fi made themselves. There were some really goofy ones. I was an early lover of Firefly also. What a good show. Okay. The Brock Show. Next up. He is in the Skydeck, so that makes it easier. Oh, he's a teddy bear. Okay. He's the other teddy bear. Okay. See, what kind of landscape? Oh man. He's got like a Chicago Al Capone kind of look to him. Maringetsu, yes, you can in Grok chat, you can ask it to generate an image. It is separate from Grok Imagine, but it uses the same engine. Well, when I think of Illinois, I think of um soybean fields. So or let's just do a farmland like I did for Kivox actually. There is a Discord, yes, it is invite only. If you are interested, reach out to DJ Nathaniel. That's interesting. Gave him a lot of green in the fur in that one. Yeah, I was an early joiner of the Discord back when it was just an open link. But there started being some issues, so that got changed, unfortunately. It's very busy. I hardly ever. This is the Brock Show, Braak. But yeah, every once in a while I'll go in there and I'll scroll through some of the threads to see if there's anything interesting or anything that I can add to. But mostly I find that X is more my speed. You know, I can read people's posts, see the things they want to share, and I can share my own, and it doesn't feel quite as hectic as the Discord. Like I could never keep up with the general chat. I only popped in there a few times. I was lucky enough to be in the general chat when Enter Two Credits and Torstwolf were talking about creating an anime podcast. And I said, "Hey, I like anime too." And they were like, "Come with us." And then we made a podcast. Like that's the the best thing I've gotten out of the general chat, which is a very good thing. I'm not downplaying that. I really enjoyed talking about anime with those two guys. All right. Lil Reaper Jr. Oh, he's the one who has like a smoke head kind of persona. Mm. I want to get like a high quality image, but I think this is the best I'm going to do. Okay, he's definitely got like a flim flam man kind of look. How about like an old time circus? The podcast is a lot of fun, but it definitely, I mean, we're talking about we spend the first like 45 minutes or so talking about the show in general, and then we go through every episode. So if you just wanted our overall feelings on a show, you could just listen to the first bit. You don't have to listen to the whole thing. It definitely gets long. We're gonna finish Free next Saturday. I thought I would need 2 weeks in a row, but it's actually a week, and then I have the week and then another week off. So I have real life stuff that I don't want to miss. So it's not an every week podcast. It's probably going to be more like a 3 times a month or 2 times a month. Neither of these are exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to have Grok go ahead and make that reference a watercolor too. I, a cap that could screenshots of my dreams. I don't know. I think that could be get some pretty weird stuff. Hmm. I have had some pretty fun dreams that played out like stories in my head because I've been writing fiction for a really long time. Sometimes my dreams are kind of story shaped, and then I'll wake up and I'll try to write it down and I'll forget it all. But I have written some fun stories based on dreams. But I do have um, bad things in my past that sometimes comes up, so I really wouldn't want screenshots of those. I remember reading about some artist who would like sit in a recliner with his hand stretched out with holding a coin over a plate, like a ceramic plate. So when he started to drop off, the coin would drop from his fingers and clink on the plate and wake him up. And he would jump up and start drawing or painting the image in his head as quickly as possible to try to capture that moment between waking and sleep. Ooh, okay. All right, that's pretty fun. Your dreams would get moderated? I don't remember um the artist's name, or I would definitely want to look it up and see what art he created. Could probably just Google that story and find out who it is, but all right, Troa Bloodclaw. Oh, Mango is in the Skydex under Mango. I was looking for Reaving Mango. Oh well. But I'm not finding Troa, so back to X. Oh, he's got like a wolf persona with like a red plaid shirt and a cowboy hat. I'm just scrolling through trying to find a relatively clean reference. Here's one. It's an interesting pattern he chose for his face here. It's not like the usual kind of just like gray and white wolf. Hopefully that'll help. Okay, this guy has got to be sitting on a hay bale in a barn. Hmm. Made his hands more human. I guess it's hard to tell from the reference. But he did not have, he did not have beans. He did not have toe beans in the reference. That's funny. Guess he has kind of sharp claws. Hmm. That's so funny. That's probably closer to his vision of himself. Yeah, I love that face pattern. It's so cool. It's an interesting choice. Let's see. Bones jangle. Not in the Skydex. Yep, he's a skeleton man. What a shock. Nothing wrong with it. Okay, the first thing I found might be the best one. Or, no, he has himself in his banner image. I'll use that. Yeah, it's not perfect. Let's see if Grok can fill it in a little bit without it going super haywire. Mm, it's probably acceptable. I don't want to do something that he would hate. But I'm not seeing a lot of art that he's posted of his own character. He needs to do some prompts of the day so we can see him more. Okay, here's one that's like full length. It looks like boots. Okay, I don't think he would hate this. Okay, that should help. Okay. This pose is super dramatic and he's a skeleton man, so he's got to be in like a decrepit old graveyard, right? See you, Penny. Thanks for coming. Okay. That's even more dramatic with the hand reaching toward the camera like that. Yeah, I think this is good. Nano Banana does like really fill in the background. Like you can give it a very simple background prompt. It'll do some pretty cool stuff for you. I like the hanging moss and all that. Looks pretty cool. All right, Tolvin skull. He is in the decks. His character has a whole like cavalier thing going. So let's do like a French countryside landscape. Hmm. Don't know why it did that with the fingers. Let's do some more. That's pretty. Yeah, that's what I was picturing. Silas Frostrunner. He's got a bunch of references in here. Which makes sense. I know he makes a lot of AI art of himself and his family. I'm going to use an outfit that's a little more simple than some of his more complicated references. Hmm. What kind of landscape? I think you should do another like a rocky beach. That's cute. Right? Tarot Dravenox? Dravenox? He also has a bit of a cavalier thing, although it's more like a firefighter, I guess. Like an old timey firefighter. Hmm. Oh, sorry, I'm being quiet. This is it's getting a little repetitive, but once I get all these bases, then the start combining them and making videos. Because yes, I've been doing this for 2 hours and I've used what, like 1,500 credits. The idea is about watercolor because I developed this watercolor style early on in AI generation. I started thinking about what kind of video would be fun to make with a watercolor style. And the concept is about like color starting with one person, and then as you reach out and touch someone else, the color spreading from person to person and forming a community. That's the concept. So the idea is that there will be a lot of shots of like one person in watercolor reaching out to someone else who's like dull and gray, and then the colors bleeding into them. I do not know if AI will be able to do this, but that's the idea. And that's what I'm going for. And when I was experimenting with you and Keybox, my favorite pairing I got of you two had different landscapes in the back. Like Birdman had a forest in the background and Keybox had a farmland in the background. I thought it'd be cool for everyone to kind of have their own little landscape to show that everyone is kind of isolated and on their own. And then as the color spreads from one person to another, it kind of lights up the whole world. And all of these isolated little pockets get joined together. Yeah, I hope it'll work. It's a lot about experimentation. Like my first animated video I did was based on the 23rd Psalm, and I really wanted it to be quite different than how it turned out. I really wanted it to have this kind of very low frame rate look to it, like one frame kind of flowing to the other. But AI just doesn't really do low frame rate. It it's everything is very kind of smooth and like just almost too perfect in a way. So it's gonna have to figure. So I wanted the style to be a lot more flowy, like more like what I've developed for this project. But with that 23rd Psalm video, I got to a point where I liked how it looked, and then I kind of went on from there. And I also really want it to be like like a oneer. Like you'd start with Lily in the meadow of sheep, and then you'd follow her as she walked along a stream, and then she'd walk into a forest and it would get dark and she would get scared, and then she would see the light, oh God, and she would be comforted, and then it would end with her getting home. And all of those story beats are in the video, but it could not be a oneer. AI cannot even if you try to extend the video, um, it doesn't keep at least the models then. Maybe it would be different now. But the best model I found that would follow my prompt and actually do what I wanted to do could not keep Lily on model for more than like a few seconds. I have a whole folder full of uh, goofs and mess ups where like she turns around, and when she, her back is to camera, and then when she faces camera again, her face is completely different than it was when she started facing camera. It's like the Kling 2.6 was the model I used for those videos, and it could not keep the character's face the same for 3 seconds. It was, yeah. So maybe in the future AI will be able to do that more, or I think actually I think Cdance can do that more now. Like in Cdance, you can give it a long image prompt text where you have references for this is the character that does this and this is the character that does this. But with Kling 2.6, I was just going, you could have a start a frame and you could have an end a frame. So yeah, Cdance is on OpenArt. It is expensive. I can show you. So this is what I do a lot is frame to video. So this is the model I used. I can show you this finished shot. This is a start frame and end frame generation. So I asked for a crane movement where they go around the shoulder and then the camera sweeps around behind the adventuring party to show the monster in front of them. So start frame and end frame. If you have a good start frame and end frame and you tell it to do a sweeping camera crane shot, it can do that. So, and that was Kling 3.0 Omni, and it cost me 125 credits for 5 seconds. But if I change the model to Cdance 2.0, now for 5 seconds, 720p, it costs 400 credits. And yeah, I can go down to 480 for 175, or up to 1080 for 1,000. So yeah, it's a lot more expensive. I could try it. I could see if it'll do any better than Kling 3.0 Omni, but Kling 3.0 did exactly what I wanted, so I don't need to spend more credits. Also, what is this? So standard. And it was 720p. So yeah. So Cdance 2.0, it is available in OpenArt, which anyone can get. It's just expensive. Yeah, I have thought about also doing low res and then upscaling. I would have to experiment and see if that would be worth it. But there were for some shots of my Nuxacore video, I did use Cdance somewhat of as an experiment to see how it would do. And also it just did better than Kling at some things. Like I had all these scenes where Nux was like crowd surfing and bouncing around, and I really wanted it to have like good heft and weight, like look like the people were actually tossing a heavy body. While when I was using Kling to try to do some of these, where is the one? I got some really goofy shots with Kling trying to do the crowd surfing. I don't know. I don't know where they are, but yeah, there were some where it just looked like he was floating on top of the crowd and not being tossed at all. Was this Cdance? No, this was Kling 3.0. That's Kling 3.0. But yeah, I played around a lot with different models. Yeah, this is Kling 2.6. It did not do what I wanted to do. Yeah, these are all different AI models that I'm talking about right now. And yeah, I kept, because I'd used Kling 2, and see here he's just like bouncing around with like a puppet on a string with no one holding him up. So because I'd used Kling 2.6 with a lot of success for my first video project, then when I started working on my Nuxacore video, I tried using it for that as well, but Kling 2.6 just couldn't do some of the things I wanted it to do. So this is, it's No, it's still bad. It's still bad. So let me see if I can find where I experimented with sea dance. I think it's up here somewhere. Okay, this is Sea Dance 2.0. And this is with just a start frame. And the prompt I gave it was the dragon swoops and dives at great speed through the cityscape while Nuxanor laughs triumphantly. Cinematic movement, fast movement, dragon blasts fire directly at camera and fills whole frame with fire. Shaky camera, dragon flies out of top of frame. Shaky camera, tail whips behind dragon as it disappears out of frame. Um, it's pretty close to what I wanted. It didn't blast fire. Like Sea Dance doesn't get everything perfect either. It completely forgot that I wanted to blast fire, but it tried. And then I think some other gens I got with Sea Dance were better. But yeah, there's a if you get into making AI videos and you get an OpenArt subscription and you start experimenting, you can run through your credits really quickly. But anyway, back to the current project. Okay, yeah, I was looking for Gamer the Human. That's what I was doing. He made some fan art of me back when I first joined Twitter. He's a very enthusiastic guy. And he's constantly making art of other people. Like it's really sweet. I might need to scroll all the way back to the beginning of my Twitter to find him because I couldn't find him right away just searching. And when you put Gamer the Human into Google, you do not find him. You find a bunch of other stuff. Okay, there he is. There he is. Does he have a reference of himself? Hmm. I could use his PFP. It's not terrible. His banner doesn't show himself. Okay, here's one. Looks like he's in the middle of updating his persona, but this will do for now. That's already pretty cute. Let's give him something fun for the background, since he calls himself gamer and it's clear he likes to play. Let's do a roller coaster theme park. Aw, that's cute. I like that. Okay, it gave him a mustache. I don't know why. Maybe something about the. I guess he does have a little bit of a goatee. Yeah, I like this. This is nice. Father Lupus, the muscle priest. He needs something majestic. So, how about a waterfall? That's nice. And skybrows. There's like a billion skybrows out there. Pretty sure I already have them saved, even. Gonna put him in a desert because he's gonna be the start of the video, the one who starts spreading color. Hmm. She's a slime girl, so she can come from a lake. Yeah, a monochrome city would work too. Let's try an experiment here. Make this monochrome. Rock should be able to do that. Yes. Okay. And then hello, Goji. Okay. Let's see if Clean can handle this. Okay. Hmm. Oh, is she wearing gloves in the reference? No. I don't know why it gave her gloves. But this is adorable. All right, let's see how this. Mm, the camera didn't orbit like I asked it to, but I only gave it 5 seconds, so. But it can make color bleed from a monochrome image to a color image. So that's at least part of my concept that Clean can do. Should just alter this pose a little, maybe. See, thanks for coming. Nope, that wasn't mine. Okay, let's see how this works. See ya, Comet. I'm glad I could help. Yeah, the once you figure out a good art style you like, if you're consistent with it in your generations, then you'll have a consistent video. Hopefully. Mostly. Good night. Yeah, that's Nux's personality is so bitchy, but his model is so cute, honestly. All right. But it didn't keep the blue, well, it mostly kept the blue skin in this one. Hmm, I guess I'll call it acceptable. All right, let's see how Kling dealt with this. Well, okay. The camera didn't turn, the guy turned. But I also didn't change the background. So here. No, that's not what I meant. What do you call those? Pillars? Plateaus? There's a specific word for that kind of like mountain that's chopped up. No, that's not what I wanted. Well, Grok can't do everything. Hmm. It's not terrible. If I ramp the speed in the editing, it'll be more interesting. As an experiment, it's good. It might not be the final shot for the video itself. Next, Feeble Mind. For the landscape for Feeble. What to do? I keep thinking of him being in like rocket ships and stuff. Because that's what, or not rocket ships, but like spaceships. That's how Sky keeps showing him in his videos. But I want something a little more. Okay, well, it could be Starscape. Well, that's a nightmare. Okay, that's better. I wanted it more to the edges. I don't know why Nano keeps giving me these blank spots. Let's try that again. The reference does have multiples of him. Not bad. Those are both pretty good. Nihilith. I really don't know how it's going to handle this. Have. Yes, I'm gonna change that in Grok. Oh, rate limit reached. Okay. No more Grok edits tonight. Well, I made it 2.5 hours. Let's just come up with a landscape for Nihilith. His videos are all over the place. He'll do all kinds of stuff. Let's do. His outfit is very stylish. Let's do like a dock at the seaside. I've been enjoying the seaside backgrounds I've been getting. Like the Silas. And Keen. Oh yeah, I like that lighthouse in the distance. Change the landscape. Oh, yeah, let's do like a sunset over the water. Hmm. Yeah, that looks really nice. I think I like the colors here better. No, actually, I changed my mind. This is a really good sunset, but the character looks less watercolor than this one. I'll lean toward character. The Holy Ball. Okay, I don't think I've ever gotten a reference of him. What Sky did with him in his recent video was really fun. The whole like finger juggling, ball juggling on fingers. I think there's a specific name for that, but I'm not sure. And there's two versions here. One has a crown, looks basically like an incense censer. Is that the right word? I don't know. That one looks more sci-fi. I should probably go to his video and get a screen capture of where he's a person with hands, because the I need an image of hands reaching out. Okay. On his video about the new letters Canada added, MMIW. I don't even want to say it. It's so silly. Okay. MMIWGG2S. Okay. I'm trying to get a nice full length shot frame of him. He keeps jumping around because he's good at editing videos, unlike me, who can barely time clips. Okay. All right. That's close enough, I think. Let's see what we'll get. Forgot to change the landscape again. Gosh. I don't even know what kind of landscape does a golden ball bring to mind? It's true. I do need to practice editing. I really want to learn how to do the little bounce on the beat. I really wanted to do that in the Nuxacore video when the planes are flying and bombing the military bases. But I couldn't figure it out and I got frustrated. It's so goofy. Oh my gosh. Well, in that version of the ball is different than the two references he had in the Skydex, which is fine. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. What's a landscape I haven't used yet? Let's just do like a plain old meadow. Like that'll be hilarious with his red suit. Oh no, a volcano. Yes. Well, that first meadow looks kind of cool. I don't hate it. Let's see what the volcano gives me. Yeah, I do actually often change the speed of the clips in the videos. In the next core video, there were a lot of clips that I sped up because the animation was just kind of slow. And all of those B2 bomber flying clips were sped up quite a bit. Okay. Well, I don't know why we got all these. I know I said hands reaching out. That did not mean disembodied hands. Okay. But this is pretty sweet. It's a little plain, but you know what? I don't mind. Okay. I think I'll Delta Wolf is the next one. I think I will do that and then I will end the stream and then I will plan on Thursday to again try to stream from my time it's 6 to 9 p.m. That's about 3 hours I think is about what I can do. Delta Wolf has such a cool model. I'll just take the first reference. It should be fine. File too large. What? This is the first time I've seen that. And it's like a little portrait. He must have genned it in extremely high resolution. Okay. It's gotta be like a mountaintop with the night sky landscape, right? Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. I think the first one was closer to the model. Yeah. Yeah, that's neat. Watercolor stars are pretty sweet. Okay. I have 38 items in this folder that I'm keeping of all these cameo portraits. That's quite a few. Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming and joining my stream, everybody. That was really, really nice of you to keep me company. And I'm going to end it here. If I can figure out how to hit the button. Thanks, Birdman. Have a good night.